Hey guys, I don't feel so good. Ugh.
Don't worry, I'll just cast Reincarnate on him.
Oh, that is much better. Wait. I'm a human! If your character dies in Dungeons and Dragons, there's only a handful of ways that your character can be brought back from the dead. Today we're actually going to go over some of those ways, as well as how death is actually going to work in Baldur's Gate 3. Before I start, as always, I would like to remind you guys that I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lieberstein, so if you do have any questions about Baldur's Gate 3, or you just want to come by and chat, maybe play some games, head on over there, I'll be waiting on you. Whenever your character is knocked down to 0 hit points, you enter an unconscious state. While in this unconscious state, you must make a death save. A death save determines whether or not you go closer to death or hang on to what little life you have. Unlike saving throws, this one isn't tied to any ability score. To roll a death save, you need to roll a d20. If the roll is 10 or higher, you succeed, otherwise you fail. On your third success, you become stable, and on your third failure, you die. Whenever you take damage while unconscious at 0 hit points, that counts as a failed death save, meaning you are one step closer to death. If any of you played Divinity Original Sin 2, you'll remember that there were resurrection scrolls. Baldur's Gate 3 will not be any different. There will still be resurrection scrolls, except they'll just be a lot more scarce this time around. However, in D&D 5th edition, there are a couple of different spells that can be used to bring back one from the dead. And we're going to go over just a couple real quick and see if maybe these are something that can be implemented into Baldur's Gate 3, since it is true to D&D lore. And from weakest to strongest, we're just going to start off with Revivify. Revivify is a spell that can be cast by a cleric or paladin. The cleric must be level 5 and the paladin must be level 9. It does take one action, and the person can only be dead for 1 minute. They can't be dead for any longer, and it does require their body. Next is Raise Dead. Raise Dead, it can be used by a bard, cleric, or paladin. Level 9 for bards and clerics, and level 17 for paladins. It takes 1 hour to cast, and the body can be dead for up to 10 days. Next is Reincarnate. Reincarnate can only be cast by a druid at level 9. It's a 5th level spell that takes 1 hour to cast, and the body can be dead for up to 10 days as well. However, when it does restore the body, it gives you a completely new body. Like, you can be a new race and everything. That is something I think will be kind of cool if it were implemented into Baldur's Gate, because imagine dying as a tiefling and coming back as a halfling, or as a half drow or something like that. I think that would be very interesting to see if it were going to be implemented. Next up is Resurrection. Resurrection, again, can be used by a bard or a cleric, both required to be level 13. It takes 1 hour, and the dead can be dead for up to 100 years. Another one is True Resurrection. True Resurrection can be cast by a cleric or a druid. They must be a minimum level of 17, and it takes 1 hour to cast. The body can be dead for up to 200 years. Last one is Wish. Wish can be cast by a sorcerer or a wizard. They have to be at least level 17. It takes one action, and the maximum allowed time after death really depends. Since Wish can be used to cast any spell at 8th level or lower without any additional cost, so you can just choose any of the previous resurrection spells. Basically, you just say, okay, I want to use True Resurrection or Reincarnate instead. Now keep in mind that this game is still in development, so there are new ways currently being developed in order to bring characters back. Maybe they'll make it to where you can make a deal with a fiend or some sort of god that brings your characters back. Maybe you have new artifacts that keep your character from dying. I remember in Divinity Original Sin 2, there was an idol that always resurrected your character upon their first death in combat. Maybe something like that'll be in there. There's no way of knowing how it's going to end up. These have all just been possibilities that can be implemented into the game, but nothing is set in stone. With all that said, one more time guys, I will let you know that I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lieberstein. This is all I have for you today. Be prepared for the next video very shortly. If you have an idea of what you want it to be about, let me know in the comment section below right after you hit that subscribe button as well as that bell. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Until next we meet, travelers.
Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act. Head up, that's a fact. Never looking back.